Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I want to talk about the full moon that we're going to have on Tuesday, December 27th in a nakshatra called Ardra in the sign of Gemini. But before I begin, I would also like to say I will be talking about the sidereal or astronomical placements as used in Vedic astrology. And if you're new to this channel, hi! My name is RoseAnna. I'm a Vedic astrologer. On this channel, I talk about new and full moon updates and planetary transits. So if you're interested in that, you can subscribe below. So this full moon will be in a quite intense nakshatra called Ardra. And Ardra is usually often called the star of sorrow or the star of oppression, which also says a lot about the fiercefulness and the intensity that can be seen with this nakshatra. Ardra is symbolized by a teardrop, and it's usually often called the moist star, or the name translates to the moist one or the moist. So there's this quality of even deep sorrow and deep emotions, like a turbulence of emotions within this nakshatra. On the zodiac wheel, Ardra fully resides within the sign of Gemini, which is a sign of our intellect, our thoughts, our desires, and even the wants of the ego. And this is something that, if we are to look at it from the cycle of the soul's journey through the nakshatras and through the signs, Ardra is where we are beginning to form our own opinions about things. We long to explore the full extent of our minds and explore our desires, our interests, and what awakens our inner curiosity, let's say. So there's this, it's a strong intellectual influence in Ardra, but it's also a nakshatra where we have to face our, like, the inner ego or the desires of the ego, and where that has the potential to lead us, because in Ardra we have this tendency to follow every whim and every desire of the ego, and this can sometimes lead us astray or lead us to become very much concerned with asserting our will and our opinion, and we can become quite even aggressive within this nakshatra. This is also seen if you look at the deity that resides in Ardra, which is Rudra, or the storm god. And Rudra is also said to be either an earlier version of Shiva or a deity that brings out aspects of Shiva or symbolizes that fierce and destructive quality of Shiva. There's this fierceness and this quality of destruction that can also be seen within Ardra. And even that quality of destruction that we each and every one have inside us, and that we eventually have to reckon with or face our inner capacity for destruction or malice or fierceness that we can bring out in the desire to follow the wants of our ego and to assert our will. So even Rudra brings out this quality here, but in the highest sense, Rudra also shows that what things in life are blocking or obscuring our development. So Rudra also brings out the necessity for some of those things that need to be destroyed in order for us to move forward and to let go of things that either hinder our development or that we are too attached with from the perspective of the ego. If you look at the planetary ruler for Ardra, that is Rahu, the north node of the moon, the shadow planet that creates this obsessions and illusions. And because we are in the sign of Gemini, which is ruled by Mercury, there's this quality of obsessions and illusions of the mind here, because Mercury rules the mind, rules our intellect. So there's this influence of not seeing things clearly at times, and where the mind can lead us astray. But in the highest sense, or on the development of Ardra, is also where we eventually mature a bit in our not curiosity, but what would you say, the immaturity, let's say. So where we can calm down the energy of Rahu a bit and lean more into the ability of Mercury to also be the planet that checks ourselves, where we can observe our thoughts, observe the narrative of our mind, and make wiser decisions. So Mercury hopefully can be the influence that also makes us come more to terms with those obsessions of the mind and make us see things clearly eventually. The full moon will also receive two aspects, one from Mercury that is currently transiting retrograde in the sign of Sagittarius, just about to shift into Scorpio, but not quite yet, so it will still aspect the full moon. And then we have another aspect on the full moon by Mars, and Mars is currently in a state of agitation and stress on the planet, because at the time of the full moon, Mars is within a long cycle of combustion, where Mars moves too close to the harsh lights of the sun. But at the time of the full moon, Mars will also be at 29 degrees of Scorpio, which is the degrees of intensity and turbulence, and where we might feel a little bit like we are losing control of things. These are the degrees that are referred to as Gandanta. So at the time of the full moon, Mars will be in a state of losing control, losing our bearings a little bit, and this can have an effect on our temper and our patience and our ability for self-discipline even. So we might feel a little bit like we're losing our bearings a little bit at the full moon. So take this into consideration as well, and do things, or focus on doing things that keep you calm, that keep you mindful, things that keep you grounded and feeling centered, or as centered as we could possibly be during this quite intense full moon. It is also a good time to focus a little bit on the vision or the goals that we have for the future, as it also brings out the energy of retrograde Mercury. So there's this quality of also being more focused on not so much the troubles at hand, but more focusing on creating a positive vision for the future and what we actually long to create or manifest, and what really feels truly important to us, and take a hold on that and focus on that during the full moon. As this is also the last full moon of the year, at least according to the Gregorian calendar, this is also a time to perhaps focus a little bit on what it is that we wish to leave behind as the year draws to a close. What do we wish to bring more of into 2024? And perhaps go over our priorities and our goals, our vision, and focus on what it is that we wish to make more of in the year to come. As usual, I will share the questions for reflection that I wrote for the full moon. How do I handle being wrong? Am I able to concede an argument with grace, or do I go by the philosophy rather right than happy? Am I channeling my willpower with intelligence or with stubbornness? What's the current level of drama in my life? Do I get a kick from stirring up emotions? What beliefs am I currently holding on to that either weighs me down or stops me from moving forward, and that I need to let go of? So that was it for this update. I hope you liked the video. If you did, please leave a like or a comment or share the video with someone you believe would appreciate it. And I will see you in the next one. Happy full moon, guys. Take care. Bye.